It has been a couple of weeks. I hope that you had at least a little bit of a spring break and you got to catch your breath a little bit. I have 5 bits of housekeeping that I want to run by you before we get back at it. And the first of these is that article reports, the final grades on the article reports are coming. My hope is that you're going to have them back no later than when I go home on Sunday night, but it might be the end of Monday. We're going to have to play that one by ear. The second thing is that we have 2 last theories for you to have class the way we've had it up until now. We're going to do face negotiation on Tuesday, and then at the end of class on Tuesday, I'm going to introduce co-culture theory, and you're going to have a little bit of extra time, or we might just wrap up early on Thursday because there are no new theories to introduce after co-culture theory. Tuesday week, a week from March 31st, so April 7th, we're actually going to play Jeopardy! And we have never yet played Jeopardy! Through class meeting as a video conference, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to share my desktop with you, and that will show you the game board, and then you are going to ring in by saying your name, because otherwise I have no idea who it is. And that's going to mean that a lot of people's microphones are on, and so we might have to mess with that a little bit. And if you're the kind of person who gets more out of Jeopardy! By listening as other people play along, then it'd probably be okay if you muted your microphone. But, I mean, the default is going to be that everyone can have their microphone on, and the class is not that big, so I think that we can probably deal with that. I'll also say, Jeopardy! Has always been optional. I know that I'm not always a model of clarity on that, so Mike is probably wondering what in the world I'm talking about. Everybody else has had at least one class with me, I think, and I review for tests by playing Jeopardy! Using an online app that's available through Flippity. So the only thing that you're going to have to do is join the meeting for the class, and we are going to review the whole semester worth of theories to the best of our ability by playing a couple of rounds of Jeopardy! And it'll probably take the whole 75 minutes because, if I remember right, we're going to get through most, if not all, of the theories. And the Jeopardy! Questions, it's not as though the Jeopardy! Questions are some hidden key to what you can expect ahead. I didn't hide clues in them to tell you what's going to happen on Godzilla. It's just that I pick the details out that I put into the Jeopardy! Questions to try to get you to go back and look at the moving parts of the theory. So it could be that there will be things that are on Godzilla that there was no mention in the Jeopardy! Round. It could be there are things I bring up in the Jeopardy! Round that have nothing to do with what you have to know to do well for Godzilla. So it's an exercise to take you back over what you learned previously. The third thing is that a week from Thursday, we're going to devote our one class meeting to your original theory of communication at NCU. So if I were you, I would go back and look at those instructions because they are detailed. If you have, there's not a lot of instructions, but they are detailed. If you have in your mind just kind of a rough idea of what you're supposed to do and you just kind of throw something together and don't look back at the instructions, that's not going to go well. So take a couple of minutes and craft your own theory. And after everybody has talked in class that day, I'm going to put everybody into a gizmo in Beacon Learning to allow you to rank order the theories that you heard from what you thought was the most sound, most thought-provoking one, the one that was probably really did capture something about communication at NCU. And the person who by that vote, the vote of the class, had the best theory, that person gets extra credit on Godzilla. And if you show up and you have nothing ready, then you get docked a similar number of points from Godzilla. So show up with something ready. Fourth bit of housekeeping. The third was the original theory. Fourth bit of housekeeping. The way we are going to handle Godzilla. Godzilla originally was going to be a test that was given in person, that was proctored. Can't do that now. But Mary Grace has had the experience of us taking an exam with you using the camera on your device for me to be able to see that you don't have anything open. So the way we're going to do this, I am going to make several different meetings. I'm going to make, I think, 5 meetings, possibly 4 meetings, because Teams will allow me to make that many, and then I will invite you to just one of them, and you'll connect to it, and you're going to rig up whatever it is you use, your webcam, your phone, your tablet, to where it shows me a view of your screen and also of your keyboard. And then you're going to take your Godzilla, and I'm going to record it the whole time. And by the fact that I can see what your fingers are doing, that's the way I'll be able to see that you're not playing with your phone. So please be sure that your phone is not anywhere near your workspace so I don't wonder why is it there. And for me being able to see what's on the screen, that's how I'm going to see that you're not consulting any other devices. I will say, I know none of these things are foolproof. I know that there are ways around them. I also know that I look at who I have on my roster in this class. It's a demanding class. I think everybody who signed up for it is a person of integrity. And so really, the videoing is just to put kind of a hedge in place against temptation. If you think, oh, it would be so easy for me to consult other people or to consult my notes or my book, well, if you know that there's going to be a recording of everything that happened while you were taking the test, it's just easier for you to take Godzilla all 6 days that it happens. And, you know, people tend to, when they take that test, they tend to have days when it goes really well, days when, oh gosh, that day it didn't go well, and days in between. And the grades tend to come out, you know, kind of in the middle, and sometimes on the high end in the middle if we're having a good year. Not that many people, really, I can't think of anybody who does just cataclysmically badly on Godzilla. So I am going to try to help you not get tempted to take a shortcut that I think you would really regret. And I also think that everybody who's in the class is a believer, and you always have to remind yourself that what you are doing with your God watching you. And if he brought you to this university, and if this is where he's called you to be, and this is the work that he's called you to do, then that's reason enough to do it with integrity. All right, those are the things I have to say about the taking of Godzilla. Fifth and final. We are, as we were before, we're going to take the final exam, and we're going to take it during the final exam slot in finals week. And I probably should have looked to see what it is. I'll send you a bulletin about when the final is going to happen. You know, it's 5 weeks off, and you could look for yourself. But anyway, we're going to take it, and it was always going to be a multiple choice test, and it was always going to be through Beacon Learning. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to have you set up the cameras and video yourself again. Instead, this is a technique I've used for multiple choice tests just about every time I've ever taught an online class. You'll take the test, you'll be able to take the test twice. The first time it'll be timed, and the timing will be pretty tight. There are, if I remember right, there are 60 some odd questions, and so it's going to be set to allow you 1 minute for each question. And I'm not saying you'll have 60 seconds for that question and you'll get slapped onto the next one. I'm saying if there are 64 questions, then I'm going to set it to where for the whole test, you have 64 minutes. And that doesn't give you a ton of time. When you're done with that attempt, it will show you your score. It'll machine grade it. You don't have to wait on me. And it will show you which ones you got wrong, but it will not show you what the right answer was. What you will then be able to do with my blessing is go back and look up what the right answer was. And then you can take it a second time, and that second one will not be nearly as tightly timed. I intend to make it like, I don't know, 3 hours. I would make it untimed, except when you make a test untimed, there are troubling things that people sometimes do with them, and I'm not going to go into it any further than that. But 3 hours to take a test that's like 60 questions is ample time. And what I will then do is I'll take the 2 grades, and here I should mention actually that the second attempt is optional. You don't have to do a second attempt. If you take it the first time and it went really well, and you look and, hey, I have an A or I have a high B and I have other things I want to think about, you don't have to take it again. But what I'll then do is I will average the 2 attempts together. So if you took the final exam the first time when it was tightly timed and you got, I don't know, a 60, and then you look up all the questions you missed, and the second time you get 100, then your grade on the final is going to be an 80. So those are the basics of the 5 things I wanted to run by you. You'll have the article reports fairly soon. A week from Tuesday, we have 2 last theories that we're going to do: face negotiation and co-culture. Jeopardy, we're going to play a week from Tuesday. We're going to do your original theory a week from Thursday. Then we're going to start Godzilla. When we're done with Godzilla, then we're going to take the final exam. And if you have any questions, any what-ifs or what-abouts about anything I've talked about in this video, please post them in the team channel so everybody can see your question and my answer. And I am looking forward to seeing you again. It's been too quiet around here during spring break, and I have missed you. And let's get back to it.